All right, welcome back to Jeepa Woodworking. I have flipped over my table. Now this is the bottom. I have sanded, rough sanded with 80 grit with my belt sander, just to clean it up. Done a little bit of orbital sander on it. Now I'm going to soften these edges with a different profile, a lot less. I think it might be a 3/8. It's hard to read it. 3/8 or a 1/4 inch round over. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this cutter off, put this one in, and do a test cut on a piece of wood just to make sure I got the depth right, and then round it over. So and after that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to prep it for a top coat to seal the wood while I have it upside down. I'm not going to do anything to the edges at this point. I'll do that when I have it flipped all the way over. So that is my task for today, is to get to flip back over and start my top coat. Also, I got to find the right size legs for this so that can get ordered. So I just want to clean up these. Got a little build up on some of these that would affect it being level. So I got to put my safety glasses on and earplugs and dust mask. Back to making more dust. I don't think you can get away from dust in woodworking. So here we go. I got a test piece over here. I'll move over so you can see it. I got the depth right, and I'm just looking at the comparison to that. Seeing if it's the profile that I want. Might try something, see what else I have for I kind of like that. How about we reduce that just a little, see what kind of difference that makes. All right. Yeah, my original cut is what I wanted. So that's what we're gonna do. On to the cut. All right, so we've got nice rounded edges. Now I'm just gonna pass a orbital sander over that to clean it up. I'll start with a 120 sanding disc. Oh, I see. A little unevenness in this. I'm going to pass over it again. It's a little, I got a little bumpy. But that's something you got to look out for. That's why I was trying to pass back and forth. Like I got a little bump there, there. Okay, so I'm going to break that back out again and do it again. got some sanding done, final sanding, just so I can get to, I'm going to get my air compressor down here so I can clean out these holes, little divots in the wood. Just going to fill it in with some CA glue and then sand that down, and then I can seal my wood. Then the bottom will be sealed, and I don't have to worry about moisture escaping through the bottom of the table, causing the table to warp, because unless you seal the wood completely, you'll have moisture escaping, and which will cause the wood to crack and bend, especially if it's trapped in the top where moisture can't escape through the top. It'll escape wherever there's an opening to atmosphere, to air. So I want to seal the wood. This face here will get sealed when I do the top, so I'm just going to seal just the bottom as best I can, and I'll round that off if I get any on the edges. The goal is 1 ounce per square foot, so I'll measure it and go from there. Okay, so where we're at is filled in some of the little pinholes and stuff with CA glue. I'm getting ready to take the dust off the table. I already blown it down with air. So a little bit of alcohol to pick up the dust. You can see the colors in this are great. We're going to see what top coat's going to do on the bottom. Just so I can seal the wood. And that's the whole point of this step. Alcohol does a good job of picking up dust. Of course, when I flip this over, I'm going to make sure everything is level. This is just a skim coat, so it's not going to go too far, because when it gets to the flood coat, which is a thicker coat, you want it to be level so it smooths out evenly. The measurement on this is 1 ounce per square foot, so I got roughly 9 square feet of surface. No, length times width divided by 144 for a square foot, and so I got just over 9 square feet. So I'm going to mix 9 ounces of Quick Coat from Stone Coat Countertops. That's the product that I've been using, and I've been happy with it. So we'll let this dry while I mix my 1-to-1. So we're going to mix resin using Stone Coat Quick Coat, 1-to-1 ratio. So I'm going to be mixing 4.5 ounces of resin to 4.5 ounces of hardener. And with these nice helpful bowls, I got a measure line. Resin has a white cap. Hardener has a black cap. I don't know why. It's just from the manufacturer. So I'll put the resin in first. Then you mix it for 5 minutes. Try to get as much as I can out of the bottle. What I'll do is I'll stick this upside down and let it do its draining to the cap so I can use the remainder later. So 4.5 ounces. And then now I want to bring it to 9 with my hardener. And I'll do the same with this one. Just let it sit there and drain down to the bottom so I can use the remainder later. There we go. Now I'm going to start my timer. Mix. Wow. So there's the top coat. First coat. There's bubbles, there's cracks, the little divots where it's sinking in. That's why you do more than one coat. Got to be careful with the torch. Also, don't put any. So, bottom side, I'm not too worried about it because you'll never see it. But it'd be about 2 hours for this to dry. And then I'll sand out the high points. And then the next coat will fill in all the little crevices that I missed, the little micro crevices. This way, man, that's looking gorgeous. Let me give you a peek of some of the colors that are coming out. This is the bottom side, so you won't see this, but this gives you a taste of the richness of the colors. Now, didn't look like much when I was sanding, but now look at it. Once you add your top coat, it's just gorgeous. The color of the wood is just popping. See all the different shades in there. The grain is just phenomenal. So 2 hours and then we'll go over this again. All right, welcome to Jeepa Woodworking. I have cleaned my shop and I have flipped my table over so the top side's up, and I need to coat the top so that the wood won't keep drying through one side and start to warp. So I got to get this coat on, a couple coats. So I've already cleaned it, dusted it. I got a cover in my ceiling to stop any dust from falling down. Now I need 10 ounces of top coat. I got to put 3 coats on. This will be my first. I got my squeegee. I have my scraper for spreading, and I'll use my gloves. Get some rags out. Just for cleanup. So I'm going to mix 5 ounces of hardener, 5 ounces of resin, and for 5 minutes. Here we go, finally getting there. And mixing it with a stick, it's 4 to 6 minutes of mixing. If you do it with a paddle, it's 3 minutes. There we go. So I'll start my timer for 10 minutes. 5 minutes. Got to clean my brush, my squeegee, so it'll stay soft. I'm using acetone. That breaks up the resin. That way I got a soft rubber tip. We'll let that soak. Wow. First coat. Seal the wood. Oh, that's gorgeous. So there you have it. Okay, welcome back to Jeepa Woodworking. I have done the first top coat. I have sanded it 120 grit. Took any waves out on the edges and stuff. So I'm getting ready to do the second coat. I have cleaned it with alcohol. I'm going to, I did 9 fluid ounces last time, and it's barely enough. I'm going to do 12. I added the edges into my calculation, so I'm going to do 12 fluid ounces this time. That way I have more than enough to do the job. So here we go. So I want 6 ounces of resin. I'm going to do resin first. Now, one of the things I found out, like with woodworking and doing your hobby and stuff, if you do a little every day, you'd be surprised how much you get done in a week. You don't have to sit down and do 4 hours every day. There's some days I don't touch it because of other priorities. But if you do an hour here, an hour there, you'd be surprised how much you can get done. 3, 4 hours on a Saturday, sometimes more. I mean, I've spent 10 hours in the workshop on a Saturday and a Sunday, depending on the project, right? So, okay. So here we go. Let me bring you closer so you can see what I'm doing. And here we go. Here comes the fun. Pour it all on there and then I'll spread it out. There we go. It's better to have more than you need than not enough. Kind of dragging along the edges, let it drip over the edge. That way I can coat it with my hand. You gotta remember, you got a very fine window of working with this. It will level to a degree, but the flood coat really takes care of any inconsistencies. What this is doing for me is it's giving a good solid coat to cover the wood and fill in any unevenness. And I will take a torch to it in a second. There. Second coat. I'm going to clean my squeegee. And then I'm going to take a torch to the surface just to get rid of any bubbles from the mixing or interaction with the wood. There wasn't a lot of wood showing, very, very little. By the time you get to the third coat, you're completely covered. You know you don't have any wood exposed. So you want to pass over fairly quickly with your torch, because if you stay in one spot any time for any length of time, you will burn your epoxy resin. This is just to pop any bubbles that may be in the resin. So, coating number 2 done. Gotta be careful. Everything's fixable. So there you go. Coating number 2 done.